Welcome to the commenting part of your managing your website chapter number 4. And as I was trying to explain in the beginning chapters, we will definitely be talking about comments. What are comments and why are they used in your programming language? Any programming language, be it Java, C++, Perl, any language you take it, Visual Basic, all languages allow syntax for comment. Okay, now comment is something that is to be read by the human, okay, the human viewer or the human programmer. Comments are not something that are to be read in the form of a code or displayed in your website. Okay, so whatever comment you write here is for other programmers to make sense out of your programming language, okay, sense out of your code. They would never come here. Okay, so using the same my first page notepad that I was using for the colors, I will try to explain how you can add comments and how they can make your code look more organized. Okay, and the comment tag is not actually an HTML element. Okay, and it is not specified anywhere. It is not a class. It's got nothing to do with the code. Okay, but comments are an integral part of any HTML document. They allow the author to add comments that aren't displayed to the end users. Okay, again, and these comments can assist the author in understanding the code. So this is very useful when you have, okay, for this much code, it's okay not to comment. But if you have lines and lines of code, you have like multiple pages, multiple web pages, multiple websites to control and to manage, it is very important to have comments. Okay, let me show you how. For example, if you are explaining this code in this page here, how you can explain this to somebody using the comment tag. Okay, it's not an HTML tag, but it's just a warning to the browser. Do not read this. Okay, that's what you're trying to tell the browser. Okay, and it's followed by 2 dashes here, and you could say that this is where the doc type declaration goes. Okay, and I'm going to close the comment tag like this, no backslash. Okay, opens with an exclamation mark and no backslash, closes like this. Okay, and supposing, for example, I would like to explain the other areas of the text. For example, I could say Control C. I'll just Control C this and write it here. This is where the title goes. Okay, and if I try to explain, I can give a warning to my fellow programmers, please. So I'm going to say, please do not change the background color. Okay, this is a warning to my fellow programmers. Please don't change the background color. Let it remain the same. And in the same way, I can add another comment here, Control V, and I'm going to say this is for demonstrating purposes only. Okay, so what if you get a file that looks like this, and it will be very easy for you to understand what's going on. Okay, and let me write a comment here which is more meaningful. For example, I was explaining, this is an example of the alpha parameter of the RGB color code. Okay, and here I can say demonstrating purposes only, the text background and text border explained. Okay, and you could say here, for example, this is where the heading goes. Okay, and if I try to save this, none of the text should appear on my web page. Okay, and I try to, after saving, I try to refresh this page, and hopefully nothing would appear on this page. There you go. Okay, the page is as it is, and as I said, commenting is just for you. It's for you and your co-programmers to understand what's going on, to make sense out of long blocks of code. Okay, and commenting was one thing that made your code easier to understand. The another thing was nesting. I'm going to talk about nesting code when I do tables. Okay, so these are the two main things that make your code look neat and clean and clutter free and more easy to understand and follow. Okay, and there are another thing that I want to show you is that you can add as much space as you want, and please do not change the heading text either. Ask Joe each time we need to change the heading. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that you can use multiple lines. You can use this, what I'm talking about, you can use multiple lines, but it won't affect the way the commenting is read and the way the commenting is implemented by the browser. Okay, it won't show here as long as you open the tag and close it properly. Okay, open and close properly. Okay, and all of this makes our code easy to understand and easy to explain. Okay, so that was it about commenting, and up next I would like to talk to you a little about classes and objects.